Welcome back. One more wrestling with Ski. I got Justin back today.
Welcome back. Yes. WrestleMania Hangover Part 1.
Mother Nature, though. And here's the real question before we get into whatever her name was that sang the national anthem. And I mean, and we can go past the rumors of everyone saying Vince is like in terrible health because he sure still looked and sounded just like Vince and can't even make man. But here's the real question I have for you, Justin. While they were doing all of that, did you notice the damnedest thing that I noticed during it? Here's the why the hell, when Vince was on the stage with everybody doing that, was Jinder Mahal there? And not only was Jinder Mahal there, Jinder Mahal is dressed in his wrestling gear. Like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but what the hell is Jinder Mahal doing there? Dressed.
I don't know. A lot of the superstars were actually in their wrestling attire. Edge, Bryan, it was kind of weird. Roman was in a suit, obviously, because he doesn't wrestle till tonight. But it was just kind of, I don't know. Maybe it was just the fact of being in front of a live crowd again, just staying in character. Probably could be part of it. The only thing that really got me. Vince definitely looks like he's trying to stay younger. And my wife could kind of point it out. Just his face in general. I think he looked like he got a brow lift and got his eyebrows waxed. Like, I don't know. It just, it was just kind of creepy.
Hey, when you're 1,000 years old, you got to do things like that.
Well, and if you got the money to do it, you might as well do it.
And you don't have to look like the Crypt Keeper, and you just got all that money from NBC buying up the WWE Network. Why not get your eyebrows done? Try to look all fancy.
Quick side note on that: if you're going to sell your soul to NBC, make sure your streaming service is a little bit better, not freezing. Now I understand WrestleMania live crowd, everyone's watching it. WWE Network had issues, but not as what I thought they were going to be. A little bit more well prepared for the streaming amount of people that are streaming. But otherwise, it was pretty smooth. They had a few spots here and there that were, timely, but other than that,
did it suck for you though?
The streaming wise, it froze. I'd say maybe half a dozen times, but
because
it was pretty good for
like I'm normally like we'd be texting during some things, during some of them when something crazy happens, you'll text me and I'll be sitting there going, "That's cool, bro. What?" Match hasn't even started because it would literally like the network would freeze for like minutes on end on me, or it would kick me out and restart. And this time I had like 2 times where it buffered for like a second, and then so it was. See, mine went from completely abysmal garbage to me going, "This is what it's like to actually watch one of these things." I've never ever even Fastlane when people were watching it on Peacock as well on the separate platform. Fastlane still irritated the bejesus out of me. I was expecting it to be a complete calamity, and I'm going to blame Hurricane Helms for having the first ever weather delay. But
that's right. It was Vince versus God, and well,
for a change,
God won for an hour at least.
How many times were they outside doing these manias? And of course, it just wouldn't be this year. Like, we're finally back. WrestleMania is back in business. Mother Nature's like, "No, guy. Like, no, you're not. Stand down, Vinny."
Yeah, pretty much.
That was, I was good with that though.
Yeah.
It was, and the national anthem was good. It wasn't no Aretha Franklin, but I mean,
No, we basically got to see a Catwoman cosplay sing the anthem. I mean, at least there was that part of the entertainment.
Yeah, there was that. I mean, and I've heard a lot worse people sing that song. So I mean, so. I mean, it could be like the DX band when they tried to sing it at Boston that year when it was so good that when you look it up on the network and on the VHS that they made, national anthem wasn't even there. Like, the DX band sucked that bad at it that they just erased it from history and it never happened. So at least we weren't to that level.
Yeah.
I don't know why the hell they give the DX band like that important of a song to sing anyway, but that's just me being mean, I guess. But now let's move on. Finally, stop talking about all that nonsense and the lightning.
Opening match. Speaking of lightning, wow. I really thought they were going to give it to Drew in front of a live crowd. I kind of was shocked, like everybody else, but I think this is looking at the broad spectrum of the end game of this, I think McIntyre and Lashley are going to be going back and forth. with this. I mean, there's really no one that I can think of on Raw that Lashley's going to really have to kind of, compete with in that
Believable
sense.
competition.
Yeah, believable competition. Yeah, good take on that.
Strowman. I mean, that's really the only other guy they have that they could throw in there,
Yeah,
just because he's a big, monstrous, beastly guy. So I mean,
yeah,
and we saw. Remember when they set up
yeah.
Lashley had to beat Braun that night for Braun to not get it, and he ragdolled Braun like it was cool.
Yeah, I expected more of a clean win though with that
Yep.
match. Not the hurt lock, not Drew passing out. That's not like Drew kind of kind of Drew loss. I thought there would be more of a pop. There really wasn't. Overall, the crowd itself, there wasn't much reaction. Now, given there was only a certain amount of people, maybe besides the fact that Vince didn't decide to, pop or throw crowd noise in there to kind of make it feel organic. But again, I really thought there was going to be overall more pop in that match with the crowd, and just overall, it was really weird. Maybe it's the fact that we've gone without a crowd for so long, and there was only a certain amount of people there that we expected,
Exactly.
like a 70 to 90,000, crowd kind of noise, But
Yeah, boom. But I mean, I noticed that pretty much all night. I was
Yeah.
like I know they weren't pumping noise into the Super Bowl,
No.
and there were no in that same building, and there was nowhere near 45,000 people in there,
Yeah,
and they were nowhere near packed in there like they were last night, right there by the cameras, and like no one was up in the upper decks. Like
yeah,
don't open those. Everyone was right there, and it did feel really, really flat, except for when Mandy fell.
yeah.
We'll get into that later, but Mandy falling, I mean, that got a reaction.
Yeah, that was one of the highlights of the night.
Like, what was the
Positive.
highlight of night one? Mandy ate it going down the ramp. I don't know what it is, but
Could have been worse. Titus O'Neil could have, dumped one out again, but
Titus could have. I mean, he's good at doing. He's good at and Hulk. I mean, let's not get it. Let's say I completely forgot about Titus and all that. Let's not get that. Was just.
yeah,
But I hope they do it. But I mean, at least though, back on subject. See, it's like shiny thing. Ooh,
yeah.
that ADD. But McIntyre. I mean, he pulled out the Kimura. He got
That was impressive. Yeah,
three future shock DDTs he hit him with. I mean, so they did. It made him look good. I mean, I get, but I just didn't think that they were going to keep going with Lashley, because I just think, hell, even right now, Strowman, in the short amount of time, is better on the mic than Lashley. And no offense to Lashley, he's not a Brock Lesnar.
No.
He's going to need to learn how to talk. He doesn't have a Heyman to save him. So.
Agreed. So, rolling into Styles and Amos, as we called it, obvious. Amos was actually, for the small amount he did, needs to obviously have more development and get more matches under the belt. I was impressed. And then, of course, we had called it, Styles Grand Slam champion, because as soon as that happened, not even 5 minutes later, WWE feed on Facebook, bam. Grand Slam champion.
I'm sure they had like the post that they were doing one of those. Like they pulled up they're sitting there going, what? They had the post waiting for since they announced it or what? Come on, get on his shoulders. Click.
Yep.
Post. I'm pretty sure that's how that thing went across all their social medias. They just had some goon there with the camera going, and done. Had to be. It didn't make sense any otherwise. But I mean, he did look good, and for what it was worth, it was nice to see, Big E come out and introduce him again one more time.
Yes, that was another. Actually, hate to go off on a side note. My own prop bets go back to Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, but told the wife and our close friend, said, "I bet you the sword's going to go in, the cannon's going to go off," and of course I missed it. It's okay. That's why we have a streaming network to go back and watch things. And then definitely. That was another one as well. So
yeah, that was good. Like that. I mean, and again, look at the crowd. The crowd wasn't mad. They're never mad to see AJ win. Doesn't matter what he does, except for when he was doing that beat up John Cena, like that ridiculous thing with like Gallows and Anderson. I mean, I thought, but people still liked him, even though it was like the dumbest thing that I think he's done since coming to the WWE. But Amos did great things. Don't worry about. I got dogs and cats that do that to me all the time, dude. But that was, and again, Amos. I mean, apparently, what all Triple H was saying, like he did actually look. I mean, He looked
Yeah.
better than I thought he was going to for being like
Yeah,
the
they, they
7 foot
used
monster.
they used him enough, and I think
Yep.
with him being with AJ, he can develop more. I wouldn't
Yeah.
necessarily say a singles run in the future, but I would stick with the tag team stuff and pick and choose the spots.
Yeah. Like he's like it was really, really good. And not to jump completely like all over the place on the card, but
Yeah,
we are. But if we're gonna talk about, shockers, let's go with how good Bad Bunny
yeah,
actually
I
looked.
and I
We all knew Miz was gonna put him over. We
yeah
all knew that, but
he can
minus the purple pants on
yeah
Priest. I mean, Bad Bunny looked really, really good.
yeah you can tell he really went all in. Prime example as well, Stephen Amell, when he was briefly involved.
Yeah.
He got a trainer, he got coaches, he went all in. I was really impressed. I wouldn't mind seeing him wrestle again. I'm kind of glad they changed it to a tag team match to kind of set the pace and not rush it as much. I think if it would have been a singles match, it would have been boom, 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 done.
Yeah.
And working with Miz and Morrison. I mean, Morrison took that. That was a crazy move outside the ring there. But having the right people that can make you look good really paid off.
Like my only problem with just because again, like what the hell is the point of bringing him back? I get it. Bring him back. Let him go with Miz. They got a tag team title run. Sure. It's been on what, a year?
Yeah.
It seems like it's been. I'm not trying to be that guy, but what the hell is he there? And you're paying him all of that money to literally walk around with whatever the hell he's doing on his head.
Oh yeah. And that was. It seemed the longer the match went, the more the poodle cut was really getting throwed out there.
But like he looked, but like I just want them. I don't know how long they signed him for, but he deserves something better than that at some point. I don't care if there's people or not.
Well, and that's the thing. Like you have wrestlers like those and Miz that have been there for so long. And Morrison's been underutilized as we talked about the other day. But I think he's at a point where he's done so much with other promotions now. He's just come back. He's comfortable where he's at and putting these younger guys over. Even though it's Bad Bunny and he's only been in the quote unquote WWE for 4 months, but just. He's one of those older guys now that has, he doesn't need to win, but he can put people over. Prime example, not to go back to TakeOver this past week, but Ciampa, he's one of those wrestlers. He can put people over, lose, and still look good because of how good he wrestles.
He's good on everything, that guy.
Yeah,
like, he's definitely great. But again, like it's just me. That was like. Really, I mean, besides again, Priest pants, Bunny looked great. The match was. Better.
And don't forget all of Adam Rose's bunny rabbits that came out too.
Yeah, and don't forget there's a few that only had one ear too.
Yeah.
Like this is WrestleMania, and you guys didn't notice that bunny only has one ear.
Well, some of them were actually in the ring. If you actually go back and look, they were falling off.
Yeah, like
yeah.
For what I mean, when they're running down to the ring like this, most of them. Like, so, oh, look, they have their arms up. They have their hands up because they're doing the bunny hop thing. It's like, no, they're holding on to their bunny head so it doesn't fly off their damn head. But it was kind of ridiculous. I mean, but it was WrestleMania. So, I mean.
Yeah, you got to throw some entertainment aspect out if you want to call it entertaining. That was, and also actually the whole big rig thing that Bad Bunny came out on. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll give him that. Like that was, like, and that was a cool thing. But the bunnies.
Yeah, that was.
Like, do we really?
Yeah.
that when they were hopping around, that's when Jesse went and got himself another refreshment.
That's right.
That's moments like that when you're really at the show is why they made concession stands.
Yeah.
It's like you don't duck out to pee because you're never going to get back in time, but you can go grab a beer quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Quick side note, Peacock, for the love of God, put a pause button. Seriously.
There isn't a pause button?
No, you cannot pause it. You cannot rewind it. You have to wait till the event is over to actually even go back and watch anything. That's the only complaint I have about Peacock. If they could just get a pause button, I mean, all the other streaming services have it. Why doesn't Peacock?
And I know we love sidebarring. We're good at it, but you do realize that pretty much, Hulu, Netflix, like the same company pretty much has built all these streaming sites for people. Like there's very few of them in the game, and a lot of the big ones are all made by the same person. So how the hell? Like I didn't notice there wasn't a pause button. I didn't try to pause it. I was all please God, and I would just leave. Like that's how I paused it. I didn't pause it to not miss anything, but I sat here and suffered through it. If I needed a drink, I suffered. I'd use the bathroom. What? I mean, what? It's WrestleMania. Something stupid is going to make me go, ah.
Time for a break.
And I would exit stage left and be done with it. But like, and that I mean, sadly, like I called. I mean, you were wrong, by the way, with Naomi and Lana. I mean, that couldn't have been any more wrong. I mean, they were like, "Hey, Lana, bye."
Oh well, Lana,
out
took a lot of tables. I thought maybe Vince would give something back.
I mean, she did go through like a table for like 2 or 3 straight months, like every Monday, like literally every Monday. We weren't even kidding. Like there's boom, like
Natty and Tamina, good on them. It's pretty much going to be a tag team versus the same tag team. It's like them facing themselves. Yeah. Like there's going to be no entertainment value. That's probably going to be one where I go to the bathroom or grab another bite to eat, or that.
And it's nothing. It's nothing on them. I mean, like they're going to do it. I mean, but that. I don't want to stammer through this, but I mean, like it's not going to like Natty never. She's not. Look at all the matches she's been in. Look at all the WrestleMania she's been. Look at all. Natty is not going to win. They're not going to give them the damn belts, and they're not going to put one on Tamina because she could like be walking up the ramp and blow her knee out or something again because she's had more knee surgeries than I have.
Yeah,
which is horrifically impressive.
Yeah,
they're not going to like. We all know how that's going to work. I don't see them pulling the trigger and giving it to Tamina. Just because, I mean, she's.
And honestly, I mean, they're really the women's tag team division overall. Like, not say I'm not impressed, but it's boring. Like straight boring. I mean, overall tag teams in now today's era compared to our favorite era that is always talked about. Not a lot of development. Not a lot of teams out there. Like I think the only thing I really had looked forward to, honestly, Street Profits. Not to go off on a rant, but they were entertaining. Teams like that. Comparing to the Dudley Boys, New Age Outlaws, like characters, actual characters, the APA,
cool.
like. Yeah.
I can't
something
like
that
him,
something you can invest in that you can, and there's not many teams.
That was the best tag team era ever.
Don't get me wrong. I love Rude and I love Ziggler. They do a very well job of the in-ring performance and their character development. The Dirty Dogs, they're cocky, they're cool, but
they're bad.
What other tag teams? I can't really honestly name 5 other tag teams that have any kind of character development. But anyways,
that was a waste though. That match. That was should have been on SmackDown. At least we got to see there at Liv Morgan.
Yeah, they could have.
Liv. The only thing come out of New Jersey that doesn't make me want to burn the place to the ground.
Yeah,
but that was a waste. No, it wasn't a waste though. Now we're getting into the good stuff. We'll go with screw it. I'm picking Shane and Strowman first.
Yeah, overall match was great. They both look strong. The whole bully versus bullied sends a message. Again, Strowman was bullied growing up, so it not saying that violence in a cage justifies being bullied, but the message sent in general. That Strowman said before the match. This is for the people that were called stupid or bullied, so kind of like, the full circle, the bully gets bullied and,
Yeah, but the only real thing about it, I was disappointed with. Like, I wanted to see Shane. I mean, like you and me were talking yesterday, the day before. I don't know what. Throw him off the damn thing like you did Kevin Owens. What? Who cares? Then Shane gets the win, but the bully is on the ground, like dead. And no, you just give us a basic like front bump. Like you just.
Well, I mean, given there was only one announce table, not multiple announce tables, but no offense to the other announce tables, but that I thought it was pretty cool. Strowman ripped the cage apart and pulled Shane back in. That was cool.
That's the only part that I wrote down. Okay, I did write how stupid it was. It's only there was a toolbox in one of the things on top of like the toolbox.
How convenient.
The hell look okay, but yeah, him ripping the damn like wall off to pull him back in, that was cool.
Yeah.
And I was happy that we didn't see the Jagaloons come and try to, the vultures come and jump in and try to attack him because he did that. Like, but that was different.
Yeah.
You've never seen anyone rip the side off the damn thing.
No.
Seen people go through the thing, seen people get thrown off the thing. Never seen someone actually rip the side of, and believe it or not, it's like comes down to the Kane thing. When he first debuted, finally, like, did you like, were you afraid you weren't gonna rip the door off the Hell in a Cell? But I was so juiced, what I would rip the whole damn side. What the whole thing would have came down. When I was so amped up. There was, and the size of Glenn back then.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure those pins exploded. But there was not a chance. And that was like last night. Braun's that big of a guy, and well, it was a good match. And hopefully it leads to him doing something now that the whole bully thing.
Yeah.
Is over. It's done. And Shane can go back to wherever the hell he was, and he could stop being on TV and taking matches from people, which puts us to the Cesaro and Rollins match, which
wow,
that's commercial, great. That's like the burn it down more, so much better than that.
I don't know if you noticed, changed up a theme. It's a mixture of Burn It Down and the
whatever you want to call it.
The Jesus Effect theme, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, say whatever that is. But I'm glad that they put the Burn It Down back in there at all.
Yes.
That one all by itself, you're sitting there going,
well,
I would hear that and I'd be like, it's time to go pee now.
Well, you also got to take in consideration no one liked the new theme. The old theme was obviously produced by CFO, which obviously they don't have a relationship anymore, so Vince doesn't want to pay royalties. So
we all know that.
Yeah, all about saving the money. But no, overall the match was great. That was probably the other top match of the three that I really liked last night. Which people could learn how to count as far as swings, because there's a lot of controversy.
It was 19.
Yeah. It was a lot of controversy on that one.
You said a number. You said, I texted you. You said a number. Your wife said a number. People on Facebook said what? That was 19. What?
Yeah.
Actual stuff. What? Like
exactly. You gotta go back and actually count. 2, That's one thing I had to rewind after the show.
4, 5. What? Just what? When he's 3/4 of the way around and you're still counting, that means by the time he's 3/4 of the way around again, you're going to count it, and then the number is all off. That was 19. I would have liked to see him or just go from like that. Never mind neutralizers, then put him in the UFO thing.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell that was called. What'd you say?
That was pretty impressive. Like,
should have done that for 2 minutes. Just why they both fall over with the what the hell happened? Yeah, but that was a great man, and it gave Cesaro looking good. And I might add, Cesaro's from Luzerne, Switzerland, right?
Yeah.
I'm from Luzerne County. I'm from Luzerne County, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it was a really good moment for him, especially after, the aftermath and him interacting with the crowd, just that emotion. You haven't seen, minus there hasn't been a crowd in over a year, but just that emotion, him taking it all in and really kind of trying to relate, And
that was his first moment too for Mania. So that was great.
Yeah.
And then when that was done, sadly, we had to see, Ziggler and them talking about how they were draped in gold as they're smacking their belts, which are silver.
Yeah.
See, we went from a really high. I figured I'd throw in the one little stupid thing that I wrote. See, there's that black mark, and there's those we're draped in gold. That's silver, stupid. Come on, it might be a championship, but it sure as hell. There's a fine line between that color over your shoulder right there, right there, that color, with the Spinneroonie belt, and the color of the championship that was on their shoulder. Not to be that guy, but that's silver, stupid. Learn your damn colors, kid. And then that does give us, I think, right down to the main event, which
very impressive.
That was.
Wow.
And the sound of that hair whipping up.
It sent chills. Wow. And then how they panned to Sasha real quick and then panned away because of how bad it looked on her side.
Yeah, that looked like she got sliced and diced real nice. That was woo. That was an hell of a match. That
was like Shane McMahon taking the bump in the cage match status. Good on you for keeping going and finishing the match, because I could imagine how much that hurts. Definitely another feel-good WrestleMania emotional moment for Bianca. Congratulations to her. Overall, the match was great. 1 for 1. Really, I would have to say that was main event worthy.
Yeah, I was That's all I wanted. Like, because they didn't do a lot of build up, because they never do a lot. Like, that's just not their thing.
No,
Like, I mean, they it was better than some of the buildups that we had, but I mean, I think they pulled the trigger to make them try to kill each other
yeah.
way too late.
Again, the
But
master versus Padawan kind of thing.
yeah, but that was
Yeah.
and whatever was going on top of Sasha's head kind of looked like she dipped her head in that pond that we saw in the show Gotham. You know,
Yeah.
where like everyone comes out, like it looks like she came crawling. I mean, that was like radioactive looking stuff.
Or she got shot out of a glow stick.
Yeah, like that too. Like yeah,
But, I mean, the attire was pretty cool. Like I was actually, it wasn't. It was a perfect balance of, I wouldn't say sleaziness and athleticism, but I mean, just a good. It came together. I mean, both attires, really, and sometimes attires. Not to go off on a side note, but attires sometimes do make the match, and just everything all together in that match from entrances to tires. I don't know if you knew, both their entrances, from what I had read, they used drones on some of that stuff. The glasses and the other stuff, which I thought that was kind of cool. Really broadening the horizons as far as entrances is concerned. Quick, interesting side note that I want to do a quick shout out to Daniel Stevens, my wife's cousin. Sasha is actually 0-6 at WrestleMania. I don't know if you knew that.
It's just like the reverse streak.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, and good on her.
Michael Cole has a better record at WrestleMania than Sasha.
Yeah, but Sasha again. I think she's finally at the point, and not to roll into the Triple H effect, but putting people over. Good on her. She's come a long way. And has really, I would say, matured in her tenure with WWE and being all about, putting people over, new blood, giving other people moments and not having to take them all,
So she's way better than Charlotte could ever be.
Yes, I mean, as far as being a company person, and doing good by not just Vince, but just in the situation in general, that's what separates the superstars from the ring generals, is what they call it. Again, Triple H, how many matches has he won at WrestleMania? Not many.
He beat Sting.
Yeah,
he shouldn't have beat Sting, but. Yeah, like you just take the ass whoopings that he's taken from Taker numerous times. All the way back to what? All the way back in, was it WrestleMania 17 in Houston, when he just beat the hell out of all over the damn building.
Yeah,
throwing him off a TV tower, like camera towers and everything. I mean, that was, but yeah, I didn't know that. 0-6. Good job, Michael Cole.
Yeah, Michael Cole was I don't know. Between him and Byron Saxton, I didn't know which one announcer I wanted their microphone to malfunction, because I don't know if you saw that quick note there. Is Byron Saxton's microphone had malfunctioned. I kind of wish Cole's would have too, but I think it was a really if there was a separate match between Michael Cole and Byron Saxton, it was who could be the real more annoying announcer of the night. No offense. I mean, Michael Cole's called some really good matches, but sometimes you just need to not say the same thing all the time. Other than that, hey,
it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
And now, for everyone watching this, that's it for part one. Part two is going to be coming up right after, where we're giving all of our predictions of how Vince is going to screw up WrestleMania, because that's what he does. And if you're on Spotify or anything, don't you worry. You'll be getting part two after a quick break and word for our friends at Anchor. So don't miss it.